Bring in the thunder. How we doing? It is Tail. Hey, how we doing? It's Tales from the Dark Side. We're live. We are doing our Clone Wars review. This is episode 13, 14, 15. We're going to split it up there right before 14 and 15. We do have a little announcement. We have a new thing we're going to do just for March Madness for the typical Thursday Star Wars show. We're going to take a little break from reviewing Vader Down and do a little fun. We're going to have a little bit of fun. So that's pretty cool. I got Jen, Solo, Pete. We will be back in a minute to give you what's. All right. Well, welcome back. So we got 13, which is the Jedi Crash. Mm-hmm. That's a great title. Some of these titles are. Jen, here you go. This is your part right there.
Greed and fear of loss are the roots that lead to the tree of evil.
All right. And I assume that later on we will have something about that you're going to tell us, correct?
We'll try.
Pete, could you give us a little bit of a screen where we can see what this episode was about?
Absolutely.
Look at this. We're working on all cylinders today, or wheels, or whatever. We're not doing it.
There it goes.
Yeah, so we've got space battles. We're out there and we are sending, I was thinking about this. We're going to go send Ala Secura. We're going to save her. That's Ala Secura right there. I was thinking about this. They sure, for somebody who doesn't have a ton of experience because he's so old as a Padawan when they brought him up, they sure do let Anakin just take over a lot of stuff, right? I get the fact that they were having an argument about if he was actually should be a Jedi Master or not. But they just, even after they said, yeah, he shouldn't be a Jedi Master, they just know because Sheer first done as a Jedi Master, they just Jedi Mastered him out. He's in charge of all these things. He's crashing ships all over the place.
Yeah, he is the chosen one. I mean, sometimes you just got to put faith in the chosen one and say, what's a ship? He's the chosen one. It's only 430,000 billion galactic credits. I mean, go for it.
That will be another point, actually, too, that of the chosen one and everything else that's going on, because there is they do bring up in one of these three episodes the expensive stuff, and I was like, oh, you don't really ever think about that, right? Everybody got mad at the Canto bite scene when they did it in the one Star Wars movie, right? But actually, they brought it up here, too, a couple times, and it's like, holy crud, they're right. Could you imagine how much Anakin and Ahsoka Tano cost? Maybe they would have won if that wasn't. But anyways, so Ahsoka's also in this. They're going out there to save her. They do, but some clones get hit in the head and they accidentally hit the hyperdrive, which was really cool because also one of the best parts of the whole trilogy was when they did the silent 5 seconds where they hyperspace jump through the thing, and it kind of showed you here why. Apparently J.J. Abrams never watched Clone Wars because then it'd tell you why you can't do those short little jumps because you start jumping into stuff. So they had to detach their plane even though they needed to stop to heal people up because just a lot of blowing up is going on in this episode. Anakin here tries to use this. Also a part that I have a problem with, he actually does shut the blast door, but what good's the blast door if the fire is gonna blast it open anyways, right?
It's kind of in the name, right?
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to stop from the blast, right? It is supposed to stop the blast in the blast door. But apparently this was a malfunctioned one. Once again, maybe if they weren't blowing up ships, they would have had more money and they could have had a perfect blast door and it would have knocked out Anakin. But in the board meeting, Solo was there and they thought that it was a good idea to have that part.
We also did talk about how much it was going to cost. And the ship crashing is just, we got to bring the level of money back down into the realm. We can't afford this war.
Yeah, I see. You can see the door here. This is a perfect, Pete. I'm pausing it because you can see the door was shut and the blast just came through. And he also didn't use force. He didn't pull the Dune. What's Kanan? He didn't pull the Kanan thing where he could stop the fire. Instead, he just got knocked out. And by the way, then she cuts through the other blast. Just debacles everywhere. All this is debacles. So there he is.
So does that? Quick question.
Yes.
Does that tell us that some Jedis have a different ability with the Force? We can see Kanan where he can hold the fire, but then we've got Anakin who can't. So is that something that one person may have a special attribute of the Force and the other people don't?
The High Republic.
That's happened before. Yeah, it's before, and now in the I think Solo Wookiee is trying to poke a bear here. I think he's trying to poke a bear because a lot of people, when they were reading the High Republic, were a little bit let's say not well versed in what Jedi could and couldn't do, and there's a lot of not my Star Wars in the High Republic thing, where the fact of the matter is each one does have a little bit of different skill level here. They always have.
I mean, but do you think the blasts are different? Because I know that they were on a tanker in Rebels, and so that going up is pretty powerful. But I would think like the chain reaction of like ships clashing and like setting off like all that stuff would be
right. Yeah, there is a big difference. Anakin had a blaster door in between him and the wall. Kanan had none.
Well, as Jedi Johnson says, contract to the lowest bid.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the thing, and I just couldn't get over how angry, even when he's sleeping, Anakin's face is in this whole episode. He's got resting angry face.
That's not angry. That's blue steel,
bro. Moving on. So obviously he knocked himself out. They have to get out of there. The clones too. Actually, the funny part is the clones got hit by a blast too somehow, but they knocked their heads off into hyperspace and weren't as damaged as Anakin was. I guess the Chosen One's noggin is not that hard. So
big with the Force and sensitive on the head.
They did make Ahsoka a lot more sensitive and a lot protective now. Now she's more protective, standing over him a little bit more. She does go back and forth. She has a way of fighting with her elders a lot, right? Like she fights with Jedi Masters, she fights with Jedi Knights, because technically, although Anakin outranks Alana in this, but Ahsoka doesn't. She's, there could be a little like, hey, little one, nice braid. Calm down real quickly. A little bit more force there, but they don't use it. So they're going to fly into a sun, and for some reason, they just don't pull out of hyperspace right away. They wait till the last minute when they almost hit the sun, which ends up crashing on a planet.
It was the whole thing with the power was out, and then they had to turn the power off because everything was broken and locked in place.
Well, no, yeah. So to get out of hyperspace, this is something that happens in Star Wars a lot of times. To drop out of hyperspace like that, you have to drop off all the direct power, because if you try to reroute the hyperdrive, you can crash into things. So they have to drop it so that it'll actually drop you a moment before you hit the sun or hit whatever you're trying to hit there. That's a good point. Yeah, people probably don't know that, but that's how hyperspace did work. I think they're starting to change it. I think we're going to see a little bit change. That is the one cool thing about the High Republic. They're explaining, because they're starting at the beginning of the hyper lanes, they're kind of explaining it a little better. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of clarification, but this isn't the only time this has happened. It has happened in the past in the future of the past. So later on in the timeline, but it's already happened. Yes. No, it hasn't happened yet in the whatever. You know what I'm saying. And if you don't, I'm not quite sure I do either anymore. A couple kids that I watched this with told me it looked like they were going to the planet of Saturn, which is nice. It's good to hear that. They didn't. They end up crash landing. And here we go. There's a bunch of arguing back and forth. By the way, her ears, I couldn't also get off the fact of this species' ears. Like, that's her ears, right? It's not just like spikes that are sticking out of her head.
Well, I think it's just poor animation, because other pictures of her, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought that she was a great character, though, altogether. I mean, she played into what she was supposed to play into. She did pretty good. I'm going to check the official encyclopedia guide. Yes, it does look like her ears are a little bit different than the official encyclopedia guide. All right. So they get a little bit of back and forth here. Pretty good. She doesn't want to leave him. Rex is there. There's a lot of Rex in these 3 episodes. Kind of good to see. I always do like to see Rex.
Mm-hmm.
You know that something bad's going to happen. They have the lights out there. There's long grass, and they have to leave. So in the boardroom, so let me ask. You leave one trooper back. You got 2 Jedi, and you couldn't leave a whole squadron of troopers here. You had to leave one trooper to guard the Chosen One.
They only had 5 total.
It's just the way we wrote it. When we were voting, we how are we going to divide all these guys? And then it turned into a big boardroom brawl. And next thing you know, FX lightsabers are coming out, and everyone's battling on top of the boardroom table. It took me like an hour to get everyone calmed back down, and this is what we went with. It It just is.
Okay, so I mean, I don't understand that portion of it, and also my children were questioning why there wasn't more clones left behind to protect to protect Anakin. But I mean, I guess if little kids can figure it out, maybe we should too. So they start wandering through. This was the other part that didn't make a lot of sense. I don't know why they didn't split up here at your Jedi. Like you should go out at the same time, but no, they took all 5 of the extra troops they had, plus 2 Jedi to go look at a tree, and then a nut almost fell on their head. Back at base guarding Anakin, we now get to see our next little animal here. These things were ferocious, and I really enjoyed them. They have been doing a good job so far with the animals that they are using to attack the Jedi or attack whoever they're attacking. And they've used a lot of them. We had the gore and all that last week. To that effect, it was pretty cool. I'm actually trying to delay also because I'm trying to flip through because I marked what the name of this animal is.
Oh, yeah, what they're called. It's like a
Mastiff.
Yes.
Falone. Mastiff Falone. It's a bird-like type creature. They were really cool, and they had the chompies.
It's Vulture Man is what it is.
Vulture Man, yes.
AKA
wait, we get a clearer picture.
So they take out and see you could have had all these guys together. There was no point of them being there. You just sacrifice them to the bird things, and then we get this species right here.
Look at that guy's handsome. I mean, look at his look. He just looks good. Just good.
So, I mean, obviously they have a little bit of an accent. Was that Scottish? Maybe is that what we're going for? Was that what we're going for here?
So.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like the nomads. Now, obviously, the species had traveled there, which I kind of like because they were trying to avoid the war altogether. They do have a very peacekeeping. I mean, you knew something was going to go bad, right? Because they're supposed to be like, hey, we're very peaceful. We don't want to have anything to do with any wars or anything else. And they're kind of like, hey, Jedi, get out of here. We don't want anything to do with you, especially the old man. And he's yelling at them with his thick Scottish accent about how they're bums and everything else. But you could tell that there was also something going to happen because the kids in the background, including his son, when they said it, I thought it was kind of cool because he goes, yeah, we're peacekeepers. And Ahsoka goes, hey, listen, you just got to help. We have one guy. If you're so peaceful, like, help him. He decides to send his son, Slow, whatever they call him, the little rat thing. This was a very big sticking point.
Sonic.
Yeah, Sonic. Yes, and that is Sonic. That's what I was going to say. So this really played well to the younger demographic because when T. Watt sent his son out there, his son does a little roly-poly thing like Sonic, and the audience I was with, the audience.
Freeze it there for a second because that is Vulture Man.
Oh yeah.
Veloso chicken.
That's
Veloso
sweet.
chicken.
That's right. But they do the Sonic roll thing, and the kids thought that was the greatest thing ever. Like that the guy was rolling up hills. That T-Son was rolling up hills.
A lemur monkey that rolls like Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, that's a great child demographic. I mean, that's a 10.
It was. Also, in that last scene right there, if we could back it up a little bit, this was a little bit weird. The seed pods that fall then also produce some type of like healing type thing. Yeah. I didn't know what that was all about. He's a healer, but he needs to bring him back to the pod to put him into the healing. Why don't you just carry the healing stuff with you? Yeah. But whatever. Then we get a little bit back and forth here, and yeah, I know I should have listened more. We're gonna get more of that. I mean, that's what she does at this point. That we're talking about Ahsoka. It's pretty cool. But then they overlook it, and you see all the pods, and you see, oh, it's so peaceful and so nice. And then the calm before the storm. I think we all see where this episode's going. Obviously, these are the little. Look at them. Oh, how cute.
Little dudes.
Yeah. That's the little son back there, and then that's I don't know, maybe his girlfriend. I don't know. Who knows?
Those are the Lorman.
Or maybe his mom, the Lorman. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, let's do a couple grades here real quickly. Pete, since you are not in the boardroom and you are in the lower corner, we're gonna go with you first. Could you give us a ranking
for this one? It wasn't bad. It was a nice little episode. Again, there's a lot of questionable decisions and how they decide to move forward. But all in all, I'm gonna go with a solid 3.5.
3.5. 3.5. Yeah,
it's fun in here. Like I did like some of the concepts they were discussing with the old guy not wanting to be the handsome old guy who didn't want to be a part of any war. But it also did feel unfinished, which it kind of is because it leads into the next episode. So
Yeah,
But I
that
still
was
think it was solid.
That was very interesting because they're giving more like how they were doing the first couple. They were doing the clones and giving you an insight of what it's like to be in the army and humanize them. They're also kind of doing it to humanize. This plays really well with the 3-episode block that we did because it shows you both sides later on.
Yeah.
Jen, we're still not going to go to the boardroom yet because I can't wait to go to the boardroom this week to see what he has to tell us, especially considering that guy had a nice beard. He's probably going to give it a 6. So, Jen, could you please give us a reasonable grade before we have to go with Mr. Solo Wookiee?
So I said a 4.
4
because I still felt like it was very, especially like from the beginning, it was very it had that Star Wars feel. You saw the story like leading in a certain way. Yes, Ahsoka did the thing like she always does, but that's what Anakin does. So it kind of, I was like, that makes sense. Like, but then she always listens eventually, and then I like seeing another Jedi, I like seeing like the hyperspace stuff, and then on this planet, it was cool to see those new creatures because we haven't seen them before.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and,
yeah,
and I liked how the seeds were also like their homes.
Well, yeah, they're dragging them. Yeah.
And it'd be super easy for any kid to go out in the backyard and like make a little like Lerman like village.
You have trees. I mean, I'm sorry. In the city you live in, there's huge trees with huge nuts that you can drag down a hill.
Yep.
And wow, that's an awesome place you live. I gotta go check it out someday because that's interesting. Okay, so the kids in her backyard hide in tree nuts that are the size of houses. Solo Wookiee. That's amazing. Solo Wookiee, could you please give us please just Solo?
I really just want to give it a 3, but he's just so darn handsome. I don't agree with his politics. So I got to give it the beard bump. Like Jedi, he gets the Boba bump. I'm going to give it the beard bump because he's just a handsome feller. I think he has his heart's in the right place. His politics just don't add up in times of war. Sorry, buddy. I agree. We all should be more peaceful. 100%.
So wait, what's your score? You said you're gonna bump it up.
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah.
3.5.
But it's a good one, and I agree. Like Jen said, with the whole Ahsoka, Anakin's kind of teaches her to question everything, and they kind of start showing a lot more of that in this small part of the arc where she's, really questions everybody.
So I have to say, I actually enjoyed this because it made the first part didn't make a lot of sense with the blast doors, and I know I was teasing about that. So I'm actually gonna give it 3, but it would have gotten a 4 if it was just the back half of it, right? Like the first part about the blast doors and all that stuff and him getting knocked out. And I know it was just like a way to get it so that he was out of the scene and they could set it up for later. However, it didn't make a lot of sense. I think they could have cleaned that up and done a little bit better of a job of that. And also the whole like, okay, she told you once, like how many times do we really have to have the same exact back and forth about you're going to leave him or you're not going to leave him? Like, okay, we heard it. I get it. Anyways, that being said, to actually have the thought process behind that species where the guy was like, no. We moved so far away from anything from you guys. Like we're not even in the realm. Like it's an accident that you found us. You shouldn't be out here because this is not territory for either person. I really like that. And the fact that they were saying the one thing, and obviously he was like, hey, look, I don't want to help you because even helping you is like bad juju. Like I don't get out of here. And they obviously can't get out of there because they don't have a ship. So I still gave it a 3 because of that. We're going to review the second half of this, the next episode. And then after that, we've definitely got a little March Madness bracket breakdown and a little thing we're going to do. We'll get into that in a little bit. But let's get through the second episode that we were reviewing.
I do real quick. Do you feel like he's really handsome and at the same time he's just kind of telling everyone to get off his lawn? Because I can really relate. I kept thinking like, hey, he's just asking to get off his lawn. Like, leave him alone.
That is true. I wouldn't quite go with handsome. I would go with crotchety, old, and telling people to get off his lawn. Yes.
It's an opinion. That's one.
It's fair. All right. Season 1, episode 14, Defenders of Peace. Jen, if you could.
When surrounded by war, one must eventually choose a side.
And I assume that we could all just figure out where this is headed to. Pete, could you roll the B film? I shouldn't say that because we're going to get in trouble again. All right. So we're picking it up where we left off, but this time the Separatists now have come over. There's a ship, and a little bit of questioning. The Separatists don't, for some reason, they flew over this planet, but didn't realize there was a crashed rebel crew or whatever cruiser from the Republic cruiser.
Yeah, Republic
They didn't notice the big Republic cruiser that had crashed. However, they noticed the Gen City that she has there in her backyard with all the.
I'm telling you, just take pistachio nuts and tell your kids, "Hey, make a little lemon village," and they'll be so happy.
Yeah,
They can't. Yeah, but they can't go inside, like you said.
Oh no, I mean, but like you can make like little like mini toys.
Mm-hmm.
Just shrink your kids.
That's why they have Legos.
I mean,
that's a different movie. Anyways, so the Larman Tower or whatever says, "Hey, get out of here."
Highland Solo. That's what we're gonna call that guy.
No, I said his name like a couple times. Either way, what his name is irrelevant because he tells the Jedi to get out of here because he doesn't want him to be. He doesn't want our man Luke Durd here, who is also voiced by Jen or Pete. Anybody who wants to tell us who voiced the big separatist named? Yeah, who? Who?
Sulu.
Who's Sulu? It was George Takei, guys. Very nice gentleman. I really wish they would, besides doing voices in Star Wars, they would put him in something. Like he really seems to have somebody who has some acting chops and could probably do some type of sci-fi adventure. I would think. I mean, he seems to be the type of a guy that could.
He would be good. I think that's a very astute. Astute analogy.
He could be in Galaxy Quest 2.
Oh yeah, that might be good.
That might be good.
Or maybe like Aliens 10 or whatever they're on.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's it. Great voice. Nice guy. I've met him before. He's really cool. He shows up at cons. Something. I don't know why he's there, but whatever. Maybe because he was in Clone Wars. Either way. So they get in here and now they're saying, hey, this is my planet and I'm taking over. Which, by the way, why did... And Solo Wookiee Jr. here is arguing with him a little bit, but very nice to him. Doesn't tell him to really get off his line. Just says, I disagree with your position that you actually are going to take over this planet. I don't know. He's really screaming at Jedi and then saying, yeah, well, you brought all these droids here, but don't worry, you're probably going to be peaceful because we're not going to do anything to you. As the guy saying, this is mine now. And by the way, go and inspect and just wreck stuff, like tear it apart. The son in the background is going, hey, listen, old man, times are past. We're going to have to fight here. There is a probe droid because when there isn't, I mean, went a couple episodes, need another probe droid. We got a probe droid in the high grass, and it's probing around, and it gets to the back end of the Jedi, and then keeps probing. And the Jedi decide, we got to go cut it down. But they, instead of using the Force and grabbing it, they start to do a chase run thing, and it kind of gets lost in the weeds.
But look, you went backhand there.
Yeah, reach out with the Force and just crush it like a can, like an aluminum can.
Or a rock. Just take a rock and have the rock forced through the...
Okay. All right. I'm not the only one that thought that. Okay.
No.
Samurai style. She went backhand holding their saber there. Like, I don't remember seeing her do that yet.
No, not yet. I don't either. Then you get Alana here.
Why is this probe droid so small? Did you notice how small it is compared to, say, the Hoth probe droid?
It's snack-sized.
Yeah. Okay.
They do. I think they have different size probe droids, don't they?
We didn't cover that in the boardroom, so I was just wondering if.
Well, this is a warmer climate. They didn't need a lot of like extra insulation on the Hoth one.
It's it's just like the toys, like the Black Series probe droid is like this big. Where if you get the regular classic, it's only like whatever. Yeah,
that makes sense. Makes sense.
So she then uses her specialty, which is apparently hunting down probe droids when nobody else can hunt it. Even though it was making noise. They do go, eventually Anakin kind of gets a little bit back and they're like, hey, we have to go in and get a ship so we can get off this planet. And within seconds, this fortress was built around the ship. Anybody have any explanation behind this? All of a sudden there's a fortress.
They're fast workers.
Duplex Lego blocks. The
prefab. Those prefabricated walls. They just
prefab castle walls to just do a ship. Not for buildings or anything. It's literally a garrison walls to protect a ship.
You got kids. It's like a travel gate thing. You just fold it, snap it in a couple of pieces, and
just like with the kids, I don't think that would work either. So
we called it Instawall in the boardroom. Just Instawall. I mean,
Instawall. That's kind of
Instawall.
cool. Yeah. I just don't understand the purpose. Like, why don't you? Did you not have the key fob? Could you not just lock the car, lock the ship with the key fob?
No.
Well, they wanted to go with the whole Braveheart thing where you had like the forts, like they had to set up a little fort kind of system for them to break
Scottish, yeah. Okay, I get it now. There you go.
It's in the
Okay.
future. It's kind of like a big 3D printer that you put on the bottom of your spaceship, but I don't want to go.
No, I
I don't
understand
want to
that
go
portion.
into too much detail.
I understand that. I just don't understand why. It makes sense now. They're doing a whole Braveheart thing. I didn't understand why they even put the garrison around it. Like, you could just lock the ship and nobody can get in there. You have a whole bunch of droids that could be standing around it. Okay, either way. So George Takei here is talking to Dooku and saying that he's got this awesome new weapon and he can test it out. And he's just gonna, once again, like, why even lock your car in this neighborhood? Like, you know that these guys aren't going to do anything, but whatever. Just put up a castle.
Where lock it from? You are the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like,
so they have this new weapon they're testing out that just pretty much annihilates any human matter or any organic
living
matter. Organic, yeah.
Organic. There you go.
So they test out 2 of the droids. That was kind of funny. I liked it how they're like all the droids back up, and I know people get annoyed with that stuff, but I actually always find that kind of humorous. So they had the 2 droids there. They didn't get blown up by this. It does work. So then, of course, he's going to test it out. A little dark there. He's going to test it out on the villagers. Go ahead, Jen.
Wait, I really liked the scene where Ayla saves one of the clones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in the tree.
What a badass.
It was kind of cool. Yeah, she cut it down to save him because they're about to blow him up. That is kind of cool.
Yeah, he must have got caught by the wave as it was.
Wave of fire. Yeah.
I'm really glad that they didn't put in the rhetorical dumb Tarzan scream that they did.
Oh, the sound effect.
Movies. Just like, come on, you used that way too many times already.
No, that was good. So they're now, like I said, are going to attack the population, and the son is like, "Hey, listen, Dad, Wookiee, we got to stop this. They're not getting off our lawn. They're actually just blowing up our lawn and setting it on fire. How many times are you going to let somebody light a bag of poop on your porch and run away? We got to do something about this." And of course he says, no, we're going to be peaceful. They're not going to do anything to us. They've already come to our village once. Yeah. At this point you're like, look, so just say, thanks a lot, Pops, and send him to his little cubby. And that's that. The Jedi come out, they start grabbing more of these pods and they make a little bit of a distraction. Whoa. They also stole 2 shield generators from Castle Ship or whatever.
Ship Grayskull.
Yeah, which they also have shield generators laying around, but that's fine. Okay. Jen, what were you going to add?
I just really liked the scene. Like, things I say sometimes will be why I grade it more. But when Ahsoka was like, why are we going to help them? They don't want help. And he's like, you can't. Like, this was one of the points in Clone Wars that made me like Anakin a little bit more, where you just can't leave somebody. Like, it's 2 different things. They want peace, but they're going to get destroyed. As a Jedi, you have to go and help. Oh, yeah, that's because, too, he said in the beginning, like, we have to leave. She's like, well, we should stand up and fight. And he's like, no, we have to leave them. It's their decision. And then Anakin says, well, it's not. It's their decision to be peaceful. They don't have to help fight, but now we have to actually protect them, and where the line of that is. So that was kind of cool. And I think is it hearkening back? Yeah, when you're surrounded by war. Yeah, eventually you have to choose sides, right? So it was kind of interesting. That was kind of cool. So they start putting it together. They did have shield generators. The fight scene was pretty good, except for you didn't protect the one thing you needed to protect, which was the shield generators. Yeah.
Right? Like,
absolutely.
You went on this like overall quest to get the shield generators, the most important things everywhere around, and then you didn't protect the shield generators. But they did take out a lot of droids, which is always fun. It was pretty cool. Shield generators, that's the first wave. Then there becomes 2 more waves. I don't know why the bandage is around his head, but that's okay. Whatever.
Yeah, because he's fine at this point.
Yeah, at this point he's fine. So then this was kind of cool when all the little lemurs get together. All these, get together, and they end up working together. All the youngins wrap them around. I did like the Ahsoka Tano run in a circle, but like also too, what were you doing? Why could you? Yeah, like here where she runs around in a circle and cuts off all their heads. Why couldn't you just take them all out before that? It seems like she was just hanging out, not doing much of anything. And then she could do
so she can hear it.
Here I go. So that was kind of interesting.
It helped the lemurs feel like they were doing something when they wrap them up and yank them down, and then she's like, "Aha! I'll run in a circle," and they're all dead.
Yeah. Yep. So there we go. That's it. He's all sad now. I did like that part. I did like when Anakin when George Takei was trying to get away, like he was beaming up someplace or something like that, and all of a sudden Anakin stopped him, and he's in the middle. I'm not gonna get my raise anymore from Dooku, and they actually arrest him. They show him being arrested, which is kind of nice, kind of funny. That was a great character. He was just one of those bad guys you want to slap around. And then at the end, you see the guy go, well, maybe we did need a little bit of help, but I have little faith that we are not going to be affected anymore, as you see the Republic coming in. So, yep, his little planet of nuts that he lived in is ruined. He should get a ship and try to find someplace else, but I don't think it's going to help.
Seed pods.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, whatever. All right, so let's grade this, and then let's get on to exciting stuff. We will go in reverse order. We're going to the boardroom first. Boardroom Wookie. You have got the guy. You've got the get off my lawn is still in there. You got a little bit more war. He's kind of seeing it a different way. What do you got here for a grade?
I want to go 3, but he's got that stellar beard. 3.5 for the beard bump. And, overall decent episode, but it doesn't hit home. It's a very philosophical arc with these, and I enjoy that it's very philosophical and in trying to help explain more maybe to children and give them a better understanding that even though peaceful is always the right route, sometimes you just don't get the choice.
Yeah.
And I thought they did a really good job of it. But, half for the beard bump, so 3.5.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair grade. Jen, it seems like you have some comments, so we're gonna go to Jen. Jen, what do we have here?
I'm gonna go 4 again.
You guys are doing a great job.
And like Solo said, I really did, especially when we get to the next episode, the juxtaposition of each episode was really good, I think, especially for children, right? And like Solo said, like it's just because we do see a lot about, be peaceful, like be passive, it's okay. But at a certain point, you have to, because if you just rolled over, then it's not ever gonna get better. Like
that George Takei's gonna come and try to blow you up. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I really like George. I don't think he'd do that, but I guess whatever.
And I just liked these two together. I know we try to do separate, but it's a nice little.
It is.
Right?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Did your kids like this one or no?
Yeah. They less scary than the first one for them, and they found it interesting. You could tell they were cheering for certain parts, and the bad guy wasn't so bad that it was a scary bad guy, so I didn't have to fast forward any of the parts. It was very appropriate for them. No, it's not. It's probably not appropriate for their age, but whatever. Do
you guys think we'll ever see the Lerman again in Star Wars universe?
It'd be nice. I think they're a strong character. I don't know that we will, but it'd be nice. I wouldn't mind seeing them again just because.
Or one.
I think that they're a strong character.
Well, it's interesting. It is very interesting because of one of the species that shows up in the next episode, and we'll get into it later, but they actually ended up doing the reverse thing, right? Like he was in canon already in Tatooine in the bar, and they brought him back. So you never know. I mean, it's not a bad idea. And teach a concept. I think they probably would have had a better shot going that route than they did with the Resistance TV show. But, I'm not in those boardrooms like Solo Wookie. All right, Pete, what do you have?
We try.
Well, I did enjoy this one as well. I'm sticking at 3.5 again, but for different reasons. I might have been able to bump this one up to 4. I did really enjoy like the Jedi stuff, and even though they could have force grabbed the probe droid, I did like the chase through the tall grass and Ahsoka with the reverse grip on the lightsaber, and I did like how Ayala, or however the heck you say her name, she's like, well, I'm going around the other way. She did like Obi-Wan. She's like, all right, you follow Dooku. I'm gonna go long way around and actually catch the droid. But I still feel they underutilized her in this one. Like she just kind of disappeared after that. She was kind of extra. Like there's no reason for Anakin to be, let me save the day and go catch, George. Like they could have used Ayala to do that part.
That's true.
Like, there's no real need for it to have been a beat up. Oh, I can't even walk. Anakin's all of a sudden, nope, I'm running.
Until he has scale a wall that was just put up there for.
Yeah, so just for that weird little. Otherwise, I would have given it a 4 because I did enjoy like as a whole both parts, and getting the second part I would have liked it, but just because of the lack of her, 3.5.
So you guys, it was Solo 3.5 and 3.5 on the last two, 4 and 4 on Jen, and 3.5 and 3.5 on Pete. I'm actually going to give this one a 4. I enjoyed it a lot more. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to lump it together with the first one, so I kind of tried to leave it by itself. There wasn't as many like down parts or negative parts to this, like that didn't make a ton of sense. Like, oh yeah, sure, the droid thing, but it actually showed that she was a Jedi Knight and that she was a little bit more experienced than Tana. So I had no problem with that. And I'm second guessing a wall being built, but at that point, like, and why they had to steal the generator, whatever. Either way, still a good one. It was great. I do actually like how they get this in-depth part of it. And like you said, it's very teachable, even to some adults that may not always be quick on the take of what's going on. So it's not like in your face, like it's not preachy. It's literally just like, okay, let's try to show you through characters how this stuff actually works. So yeah, I gave it a 4. I really enjoyed it. All right, now let's get into some fun stuff real quickly. And we actually have to, hopefully we have somebody in the chat that's willing to do this. If not, I'm gonna have to maybe make a text message. But because today is March Madness, it's the start of March Madness for you that follow sports. They did a bracket thing. We also, Pete, do we have what they did over at Star Wars this week?
Oh, we do. Let me share my screen.
Excellent. Over at Star Wars, they came out with a list of the 20 top droids. We didn't come up with this list. Once again, people on this channel, nobody on any of the Tales channel came up with this list. This was Star Wars that did this. StarWars.com.
Jen did it.
Please send all your mail to George Lucas and, Captain Kennedy. You guys are already sending all your hate mail there.
Amy Rochelle apparently wrote this article, so.
Yeah. So we could do that. So here we go. It's 20 droids, Star Galaxy, the greatest droids. I have a feeling these are going to show up in the Droid TV show. So what we decided to do, since it is March Madness, is put together a bracket. And we just threw it through one of these bracket makers where it randomly throws droids in there. And we're going to do a little bit a March Madness bracket breakdown where we're going to have guys and girls or whoever. We right now have got 7 of the 8 entries. We need one more person. So if there's somebody in chat that wants to participate that isn't already, I will go over the names of people that are. We are going to break down the droids, and we're going to go head-to-head. Do we have a little graphic of what the head-to-head is going to look like here, Pete? Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, this
nice.
Is cool. So, triple.
Man.
That was 16 verse. Fight! 17, and they're going to get fight. And what you're going to do is we're creating little cards for them and everything. It's going to be like little stat cards. And then we're also going to do, if you could do a run through of the demo, what the demo will look like here. Do we have that?
Oh, yeah. I do. Give me 1 second to bring it up, though.
But the gist of it,
that's awesome. Have you been doing all this, Pete? You're tossing this all together. You are, dude. Kudos to you. You are the man. This literally, the bracket looks great. These cards look great.
We're going a little overtime on this, so it's just a selling thing. It is just a selling thing where we're just gonna have a little bit of fun, and you're gonna have to argue for your droid. Now, if I could, I will like to pull that up real quickly, and we're gonna go over this, and we're gonna pull the people's names here out of the hat. I will say that whoever gets CR, like, I'm sorry, whoever's not 19, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. We might actually even try to give away some stuff every once in a while. Hopefully we'll have some more things. It's going to be a voting process. We're going to put a poll up so that people can vote on it. You can get like a point if you vote in the poll. Then if you're on the live show, it's going to be a couple points. You're going to get a couple points for participating in the live show. And then obviously all the people defending it using points like this, their first comic appearance, like that. Oh, wow. Look at the graphics on this. We paid the big bucks for this.
Wow.
If they had blaster doors like this on that thing, Anakin's head wouldn't have been busted. They'll build a figure. That's kind of cool. Star Wars story. Perfect. Yeah, that's a perfect example of what we're going to do. And then they're going to go back and forth and explain why these characters are great and everything like that. So far, this is who we have in it. We unfortunately can't have Jen. She has been ruled out, ineligible, at least for this week. We might change it up week to week. But we have got Pete. We have got Solo. We have got my man, Steve Horn. There he is. Yes, Steve Horn. How you doing, Steve? Good. There we go. We have Jedi Johnson, who's also in the chat. We have Marco, who is me. That's me. That's my name. We've got Leaky Trooper, and we have got Stick Boy, who last night entered himself in. We do need one more person.
JJ Maxwell said that he would do it.
JJ Maxwell's in. Okay, JJ is in. Thank you, JJ. Good to see JJ Maxwell.
Said they do it via chat.
What does that mean?
Like,
we'll see what. Yeah, see what we can do. We'll make it work.
We can always do a camera off thing too.
We can always do a camera off thing. Do whatever we have to do. He'll give us the stuff ahead of time anyways. All right, so JJ Maxwell's in there too. All right, Pete, if you could pull it up, we're going to do live here to see who gets screwed with CR23. I know you guys, nobody wants that one.
The bracket?
The bracket, please.
Where is it? There it is.
Okay, number 16 is once again, this was StarWars.com. This is not me. So they combined 000 and BT1. I know people think that's not fair, but either way, who will be defending them? It is, Leaky Trooper got the easiest one. There probably is.
Oh, so easy.
So Leaky got 000. I got that.
Put you up so you can show the piece of paper.
Absolutely. What's the next bracket? It's K2SO?
Yes.
Number 17, K2SO. K2SO. It's me versus Leaky. It would be me versus Leaky.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Good. K2. Oh, we're going to have some hard ones now. Now everybody's like going, I just wish we didn't. Okay, 13. Who's going to get BB-8? And we have Stick Boy. Sticks Boy gets BB-8. All right, Solo's gonna get CR. He's gonna walk off the show. All right, we get the what is this droid's name? He is a droid
RX something. RX.
He's actually a very interesting droid. This is gonna be cool because you're gonna get to learn about some droids here. And he is the droid you see when you go to Disneyland, Disney World. Who do we got? Pete. Oh. You didn't want him. Pete didn't want him.
I don't even know who the heck he is.
All right, well, good. You got some research to do before Thursday. All right. We've got Lando and actually the brains of the Millennium Falcon. This is a great one. It'd be awesome if he gets it, but let's see who got it. Oh, it's Jedi Johnson. Nice, Jedi Johnson. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a rough one too.
Yep.
This is that they little tidbit about this next one, Dio. They actually formatted DO after Spy vs. Spy. So not terrible. I mean, at least you have that. I give it to whoever gets it. They are in on DO. And DO, we have, now he's going to hate that he volunteered. JJ Maxwell got DO. Okay, JJ, good job on DO. That stinks.
DO's not that bad. At least he can give you a thumbs up. And that's okay in my book.
I guess so.
He doesn't have any appearance. Whatever. Okay, so we're down to our last two. We got the medic droid. I don't actually know what the number for the medic droid is. Is it like?
I do have it.
B whatever. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so here we go. There's two.
2-1B. 2-1B.
2-1B. That's it.
Two left. Who do we have left here? Oh man, it's Steve Horn. It's Steve Horn versus Solo. And Steve is like, do I need to know a lot about it? I said, no, not at all. Solo got the medic droid. Steve, I'll switch with you if you really want to in this first one. But Steve got CR23. So Steve will be with us on Thursday trying to defend CR23. Wow.
Do you guys have any favorites out of those, though?
Huh?
Do you have any, out of that whole list, what would be your favorite?
Out of that whole list? Hold on. Pull it back up. Out of the whole the 20 or out of this week?
Out of the whole 20.
Oh, out of the whole 20.
I know which one you love. 5. I actually love 8. I really do like 8.
Really? I like 6.
You like
Chopper?
6?
Yeah, I like 6 too. 6 is tough.
Chopper and then followed closely by BD1, but Chopper definitely.
All right, Horns in. This is what I love about my man. Smartest man in comics is like, hey, he's got it, dude. No problem. He'll deal with the cards. Bones is probably. I actually was very disappointed in this bracketing. It was random. We almost randomized it because it was
16, 17 is a tough matchup. 16, I like K2SO.
Yeah, 16, 17, 8, 1. I mean, like that's all the faves. I mean, you're going through a little bit of a tough phase there.
Yeah.
We were gonna try to split it up, and I was like, no, it's how it's listed, so we can't get rid of 19. You're going to have it pretty easy if you get in the southern bracket down there. If the southwest bracket, you got a BB-8, you got a bartending / disco droid, and then you got one of Jen's favorites. So maybe by that week, Jen will be able to sub in or something like that.
I mean, but in a fight, I don't know. Like he just. It's
not like a fight. You're trying to sell the droid. So
okay, gotcha.
If fighting is what you need, if that's what your angle you're going to take is like, because he could destroy them, that's a good angle. That is a good angle.
What was that for a while in like the 90s, early 2000s, like where they had the robots fight each other?
Oh, they brought that back.
Robot Wars.
Yeah. That's what I was picturing. That's why I was like, this isn't a fair. There, a couple of them are.
No, yeah, it would have been a fair fight. So
Yeah,
we're
that
gonna
mouse
do
droid's going to get wrecked if you're going off of that.
Yeah. At this point, you're just trying to out debate the other person, and if it's just hey, feel free to use Wikipedia, StarWars.com. StarWars.com did put a top 20 list. They're on there, so wink, wink. If you need some help, go there, and they might have a little one-liner or two-liner or something you can throw out there. You're just trying to get the people to vote.
We can put the link in after the show is done airing, like in the
yeah. We're gonna, and then so like the people on the show, the 8 of us, we will actually have a couple more points too. So we'll use live chat on Thursdays and comments underneath. And then by next Sunday, we'll have a winner of that bracket, and we'll move on to the next round.
So it's likability.
It's a little bit of everything. It's like, hey, look, they got great comic books. Their toys are cool. This droid was cool because they created it for sentimental reasons. Whatever it just happens to be, that's what we're going to do. And by the way, if you win the round, that doesn't mean you're going to have that droid next round. You could option to throw your name back in the hat and get a second droid. So if we put that bracket back up, let's say Steve Horn wins with which actually, he's got a pretty good shot. It is against the medic droid here and Solo Wookiee. And what's Solo Wookiee going to yell, get off my lawn the whole time? So, I mean, he could just go like, hey, now that I've accomplished the mountaintop with his great knowledge, he will throw it back in there, and then maybe he'll get like a Gronk droid. They didn't have the Gronk droid here, which I'm disappointed. But he could pull out a mouse droid. Who knows what could happen? Anything could happen.
IG-11. That's a pretty darn nice droid.
Yeah, that was also a very hot button topic when I first rolled this out. People were angry that there wasn't IG-88 in here. And so he's like, well, you could put IG-88 and IG-86. There was a lot of debate.
Or Forlom or any of the other incredibly wonderful droids.
But if this goes well, guys, if this goes
over there, isn't he?
No, Forlom is not. No, he is not.
That's the other guy.
If this goes well, we will extend it and make our own list next time, maybe of bounty hunters, and maybe keep playing this through April if we can. So this is just a test run. We're going to see how it works. I hope everybody enjoys it. Popularity, likability. Yeah. See, Jedi's got it. Yep. We got to see what we can do here. Okay. Let's get back into.
What was the lightsaber droid from that Clone Wars episode that had the Padawans? I liked him. Remember? He had and he would put all the different sabers together.
Okay. We didn't come up with the
I'm just saying.
We didn't come up with a list. We were hoping the people on the channel here wouldn't condemn us as bad as we're gonna get killed.
Jen's taking notes for the boardroom. She's going to the boardroom. She's like, hey, these are the droids I like. And she's going to the table with some hard-hitting facts. She ain't here to mess around.
At least the droid doesn't look like a hair dry. Okay, yeah, this is great. JJ has got, see, this is already, and use that too. Like, hey, look, I have to defend a droid. Like, use humor if you have it. Do whatever you need to. Let's get some votes in there, guys. Make sure you look at the Tails channel because we will be putting out polls for you guys to try to hit it up there too. You can vote as many times as you want. So if you want to hit the poll up and vote during the week, you can get 1 point for a droid there. If you want to come after that and you want to come to the live show in the chat, you'll get maybe like 5 points or something like that.
Yeah, you got to get more for being on the live show.
You'll get some points for commenting after the live show because look, we know not everybody watches this live. We do know that we get a lot of views after it. We understand that. We don't want to exclude you. You'll get the same amount of points there, but if you make a comment in the live chat and then the comment down there, you might get double dipping. And then the rest of us, the 8 of us, will kind of have an overseer. And maybe if we get out of hand, we'll put Jen in charge as long as she doesn't criticize our list again. Once again, we didn't make the list. StarWars.com made the list, okay? Not us. All right. With that being said, let's get on with it. We do have finishing up a review here. I'm glad everybody was really excited. I was worried that some people were going to be a little bit apprehensive. I was actually hoping, I had planned already because I knew 23 was going to be there. I was like, I'm going to get 23. So I was ready. I had a whole thing. Me and Pete were talking about it. But yeah, so that's going to be good. Here we go.
This is going to be fun. It's going to be a really good time.
It'll be a good time. Series 1, episode 15. Trespass? Yes.
Trespass. And not the Ice-T movie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wonder what that has to do with anything. Jen, go ahead.
Arrogance diminishes wisdom.
Arrogance diminishes wisdom. Yes, it does. Pete, if you could, let's roll us through some screens here, please, bud.
Hopefully this is the right one. It is.
It is. So now we're on Hoth. No, we're not on Hoth. However, we're on a snowy planet. The kids did go like, "Dad, we're on Hoth," and I was like, "No, no, no."
Ah, it's Colorado.
Speaking of droids, I did really like this, man. To see the clones in like almost the Hoth trooper outfits, but a little bit cooler. I thought it was actually cooler.
Yeah, with the
Now we have another species that we get introduced here too. And this was like the opposite end of it, right? So like the other one, they didn't want to fight. This one, our man here with the permanent skull growl came off. And the question, so Ryo is the young lady there who is like the negotiator.
Can I address the elephant in the room for everybody that may or may not already know? And I'll ask it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the race that Thrawn is from?
No, it's not. Not even close.
Thank you. Eyeballs.
well, close in that they're blue.
Yeah.
So it's close.
Just wanted to throw that out there in case anybody was confused because
It's not even the same color blue, bro.
I could see where it could come up. So I thought I'd get that answered off the top.
So they are Pantorians, and his name is Chai Cho. And Chai Cho has got the kids thought Chai Cho was a bad guy. I said he's not a bad guy. He just has a different point of view. Yeah. So it was very interesting to see the back and forth between the two episodes of where we had the passive species of lemurs and then the not Thrawn / Chalice people there. This is kind of cool. As soon as we saw this, I was like, yeah. So if you remember the last season of Clone Wars, wasn't it? Where the helmets were there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This has happened before. They go into this base that's supposed to be there, and there's a bunch of clones that are frozen over and lynched over,
demolished.
Mm-hmm. And they end up finding a separatist ship.
Mm-hmm.
But now that separatist ship, they get to see the Tals, which is the character in white right there. I thought it was really cool because of the attack. For those that don't know, Tals are like vicious warriors. Just crazy.
It reminded me of Serenity, like seeing the video recap, like how everybody got killed. Like,
so Chai here is just always angry. He has permanent Anakin face, and
it's like a Wicked Witch.
Yeah, he does.
Resting Anakin face.
He does. So the Jedi, because Obi-Wan is in this one, and Obi-Wan's got common sense, so he comes in and finds the Tals, and he's like, Anakin, of course, wants to fight right off the bat. He goes, hey, relax. He goes, how are we going to talk? It'd be nice if we had a protocol droid with them. And then Anakin's the one that decides to draw whatever this is.
What? It's the friendship,
bro. Apparently they don't teach Padawans. Like, I'm terrible with art. Just I'm horrible at it.
Get it? He's paying them a compliment. They're the bigger people here.
Yeah, that doesn't look anything like this. It looks like he just did a big woolly bear and then was like, hey, here you go. Grimace. It looked like he drew Grimace. So they actually negotiate a little bit of peace. They're like, hey, listen, you guys just misunderstood. That's why you killed everybody. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but whatever. So the Talzin just kills everybody because they just wanted to kill everybody. But it turned out that the droids attacked them, and then therefore the Tals are crazy warriors that get bloodthirsty and they just kill everybody. And that's what happened to the clones. They come back and report this to our man Chai here, who he just can't see it, man. He's like, nope, I'm a warrior.
Well, he was just claiming ownership of like the moon planet. It's hit like since the very beginning. He's like, this is like ours.
Well, he said it was unless there were Sentinel beings on it, and then it turned out there were Sentinel beings. Then he changed it to it. Well, if there were Sentinel beings that were origin from here, and then he's like, well, no, they didn't. It has to be a separatist scam. Yeah, he was trying to make it work out, and that's usually not going to work out so well. He also thought he was in charge of the clones, which you could tell they're like, hey, look, make sure he doesn't do anything dumb, but don't get in fights. So he goes over there, and all of a sudden he's like, C-3PO, tell him exactly what I said. Now, his authority is very interesting. He doesn't actually have outright authority. He's given authority to say what he wants, yet she is actually the emissary, so she technically has the authority, but has to get her authority approved.
But I think he used his age. Right? Because he's like, he kept saying, how you're so young, you don't know. Yeah. I know better. Well,
yeah, he also used kind of like his stature. I think he has a little bit more stature to it. So he tells C-3PO to tell the Tals to kick rocks, and if they don't, this blue guy Chai is gonna beat him up. But he doesn't even say him. He says we. Like he gets the Jedi involved in it. He gets the droid and everything.
Who I'm rolling with. You don't mess with these.
Yeah, pretty much. They've got some bad looking character. Oh, I went all the way back to the beginning there. Sorry. Yeah, these were kind of cool. I like the snow beast that they had coming out here. I also like that they didn't make some weird noise like they do sometimes. It's fine without that. So he's got his little pistol here in the middle of a snowstorm. No coat on. Just thinks he's going for it. Looks like he could use a couple meals, 2 eyes at it, and they pretty much trap him, knock everything down, and kill him. I mean, they kill him, right? Like slow death too. Well,
not immediate, but yeah.
Oh yeah, slow death.
He's mortally wounded because
So there's Rex, and that's the costume I was talking, or that's the armor I was talking about. So I really liked it. Yeah, I actually hope they do that in a Black Series figure. To be honest with you, I think it'd be a cool Black Series figure.
I wouldn't mind seeing that in some serious live action as well, like in one of the shows coming up, or to see that full. It's super cool.
I'm in a snow theme.
Also, if I'm Rex at this point, I'm throwing this guy over the edge of the cliff because he's pretty much dead. I don't know why you're dragging around dead weight. Just get rid of him. Literally, I mean, as in the sense the guy dies in like 2 seconds. So like you knew he was dying, just get rid of him. But no, he decides to protect him, I guess, because that's what he's told to do. Obviously, this also too, Rex for the last couple episodes had a different gun. He had one of the big blaster guns, like the usual ones. He didn't have his little dual pistols that he has here, which is kind of cool. They went back to the dual pistol thing. Obviously, there's a war about to happen. She goes back in and talks to the Senate and says, hey, listen, give me the power to go negotiate, which I don't know how that would work out. That was a little wonky there, too. Like the guy just spit in everybody's face and then tried to start a war. Mm-hmm. And they had the high ground. And, you don't ever give up the high ground. It's a Star Wars thing. So, but no, she comes out and it's like, okay. She tries to talk Obi-Wan into negotiating. At which point Obi-Wan's like, nah, you guys already got us into. But
she tried ordering him to.
Oh yeah, she started getting lit, and
she's like,
he calmed her down real.
You're supposed to do what we say. I order you to go negotiate.
Yeah, whoa. So then he gets here, and in this guy's dying breath, he's like, "Oh, you're here, cool. Even though I called you a weakling, you need to go out there and kill them yourself." The tells, and she's like, "Look, you don't have any power anymore, buddy. You're dying, and you're dead." So have a nice day.
Genocide.
Yeah.
Kill them all.
See you all later. Didn't try to heal them at all, though. I mean, hey, look, they got stuff in nut tree pods or whatever that'll heal people. This they had droids and everything. Didn't even try. They're just like, I'll let the guy die, and we'll steal his hat from him so that we can then.
Very nice. I mean, I kind of feel like they might try and save you a bit more if you're a little nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty much ordering kill him. Kill him. Start shooting. As soon as you see him, start shooting.
You said the lemurs were too nice and too soft, and now this guy's too mean. So I don't get it.
You gotta have that happy medium, folks. I get it. You can't. You just,
they did just let the guy die. They literally just let the guy die. And then she stole his hat so she could then take a spear and throw a spear down. By the way, if somebody has a spear like that is aiming at your head, these creatures already know that you've told them, like, kick rocks, we're going to kill you. I don't think you're letting her throw it into the ground and put the helmet there. I think you're like stabbing her, right? That's what you would do, Solo?
No, I think they realize that what's she going to do? That she's making a statement of some kind.
I don't know. She just let the dude die. I might let her kind of fix it up a little bit. I'd be like,
They brought her trophy.
And then she puts it in the ground and it's like, okay.
Yeah, and this is another part too, like not for nothing. But she must really have disliked this guy too, because she did just steal his hat off his head. It's like, hey, here you go, and put it on there just like they did when they killed the clones. Which is kind of one of the most disrespectful things I think you could do with a dead body is rob them and then just throw their hat on. But hey, different cultures, different things, I guess. So there you go. There's her hat. There's the hat and the stick. And then he doesn't. They all bow, but he throws his down, but his has a spear in the air. Just aesthetically, it looked weird. Cool characters, definitely like him. I think we do see him. Maybe we'll see him again. We definitely see one again because he ends up showing up in New Hope. Sad note: they do end up becoming slaves after the Empire takes over, and then they kind of get. That's what they do to the species. But pretty good episode, I think, all in all. We've got this is it. So Pete, let's go. You've got a 3.5, a 3.5, and what else do you got here?
For this one?
Mm-hmm.
Dropping 4. I like this.
There you go.
I like this. I did enjoy it. Like beginning to end, I liked it. enjoyed the story. Yeah, dude he was pretty rough. He was bloodthirsty. He wanted no parts of any of those guys. Like maybe there's a backstory where one of those towels like killed his brother or something. I don't know what really has him so far against them, but he was just straight up. I don't care what they say. They're savages. Just kill them. I'm surprised he didn't start shooting at that first meeting. But that being said, it was still I did like that idea though of seeing the dynamic of how the Jedi serve the senators, but they don't, and they try to mediate, and I don't know. It was a fun episode all the way around. I'll leave a lot for you guys still to kind of chew it over, but I liked it.
So what you're saying is you're not down for peace, but you're down for angry dudes getting killed and bleeding out to death. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Jen.
He called down the thunder. He got it.
Jen, you've given us 2. Vengeance is good. That's what. Forget peace. Vengeance is all I want. Jen, you got 2 4s. What do you got on this one?
I got another 4. I definitely got General Ross vibes from that guy of having that kind of almost, I don't want to say stoic, like the anger. From the general. He was the fudge. The guy who ends up getting killed at the end. Shoot, what was his name?
General
Chai guy? Chai. Oh. But I thought you said Ross, like isn't Ross from what General Ross?
Yeah, I had General Ross like feels from him, where it's that kind of like, because he felt righteous in his
Thunderbolt.
Yeah,
Thunderbolt Ross. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he just felt very righteous in that, and but it kind of came from a weird place, and that's why I liked it so much, because it was the juxtaposition from the last 2 episodes. That again, another thing good for kids to see, that you can be too aggressive and you need to chill out a little bit and like listen. For all around, I like the characters. They did a great job with the designs for being in the cold gear. Even if Anakin's coat looked a lot like Han's coat. And I know Columbia, the people who do the jackets, did a version of that like a couple years ago. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's really cool. They should have put the cool, but that would have been not as recognizable unless you watched like this series.
Well, they also did those coats too were kind of cool in the show. They had very good detail, including the Republic emblem was on it. So yeah, that was really it was really enjoyable. Well, 4 it is. I like how you dropped an F-bomb and then 2 minutes later said fudge and to correct yourself. Okay, Solo Wookiee.
It was an S-bomb.
An S word, yeah. That's like straight up okay on TV now.
Solo Wookiee. What do you got?
It's I'm not surprised, y'all. This one's really hard for me. I'm gonna go a 4.5, even though I don't have a beard bump for this one. I have to go 4.5. It's really hard to just judge this one on this one. After you've seen the last 2, and then they go and they show you this one, much exactly like Jen was saying, it gives you that contrast of way over here and way over here, and that whole, we showed you this side of it from this view. Now we're going to show you that same juxtaposition from this side and just change it a little bit. And just that little change makes that morality change a little bit. And so the way that they did that is really, it's the way they did it is well. They did it well. They explained it well. They explained why just that little change can make it morally right or morally wrong. And for a kids, and I'll put it in quotes, animated series, I thought that they really touched some deep, heavy knowledge for adults. The kids probably don't pick up on. In fact, I know the kids don't really pick up on it, but the adults watching it with them kind of do, and they go, "Oh, there's more to this than just pretty animation. Like, oh, this is a good story." And so I really like this one, and I can't. As much as I tried to just vote on this one as this one, I still, the last 2 and this one are kind of all together, and it changes it.
Yeah.
I do like to see the characters come back from A New Hope that you only got to see once in the Mos Eisley Cantina. If you ever read the novel Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, they explain where that character did before, during, and after, and that was always a cool story to me. So to see him bring that character back, that race, and then explain this planet, I thought was spot on. I thought it was a great throwback. I thought it was a really good description. I can do without the Smurfs from Fern Gully. Whatever. Avatar's not that great. Captain Smurf is just not a nice guy. You just pray for him the whole time. You're like, dude, karma. And then karma gets delivered. You're like, yeah, I shouldn't celebrate this. I shouldn't feel this good about him going down. But you do, and I think it's a great episode for that. Lots of cool stuff. Armor, suits, super cool snow trooper stuff. Super cool speeder bikes, although I probably would have liked to see a windshield or two on there because it's bloody cold when it's snowing and you're on a snow speeder.
Yeah.
I like all the stuff they show, new stuff, like the suits and the bikes and the ships, and lots of new stuff in this one.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so the bikes did. I thought you gave it you gave it 4.5. I thought you gave it a 1 point bump for Angry Old Man in the episode. But
dude, that's what he wanted. How many times did he say, "I'll die for my people"? Well, he did. He got what he wanted.
Yeah, he got what he wanted.
He did. Glory.
So I went 3. I went 4. I'm giving it a 4 too. A lot of stuff that Solo said is spot on, and why I enjoyed it too. As far as I like that they did bring back characters, like to give a little bit of backstory to them. I like the fact of, like I said, I like the snow trooper outfits that they used. I like the fact that they brought back the dueling guns again. I like the fact that the winter speeder bikes, some did actually have a little bit of a glass dome, a little glass dome on it. I like the high ground portion of it. I thought that was kind of funny. We didn't quite show that, but there was a big high ground. They did a great job with all the characters in it, and it made you feel like the question I was asked is he a bad guy? And I was like, well, it's not is he a bad guy? It's more explanation you had to give out to, is he a bad guy? Is Shy a bad guy? Is he not a bad guy? He's just misplaced. And just like anything, I guess sometimes when you're misplaced, you just get left on the side of the road. That's what they did with him. They left him on the side of the road. So with that being,
they brought him back to die. They didn't leave him. They brought him back. He took his hat.
So she could take his hat. That's why they brought him back so they could rob him. They brought him back so they could rob him and then throw his stuff away. So that's why it gets a 4. Those are great episodes. We will still be doing Clone Wars review here on Sundays leading up to the Bad Batch. On Thursdays, however, we will get right back into our brackets. I know that we've got some good comments coming from the brackets already. JJ Maxwell. Hey, he just realized that Dio effects were voiced by J.J. Abrams. So, I mean, that's you guys. You do know it's going to be tough to win that one. You've lost my vote right off the bat. Michael, it's good to see you in here. There's a lot of back and forth going on about who looks like a hairdryer and who's got the worst droids. So I'm already excited for Thursday when we will drop the brackets. We will come up with the cards. We'll do a little bit more. We will see you. Hey, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the stuff that you're supposed to do. So, what do you got?
Please go down. Force push them buttons, then go over and see if smash that bell. I hear they do something for us. And remember, may the force be with you.
Always.
Always.
Hey, go check out Run a Vision and make sure you check out Jen on Tuesdays.